In this video, I will be showing you how to use Nmap to scan for vulnerabilities on an IP address and exploit those vulnerabilities using Metasploit. Without further ado, let's get started. You have probably heard of Nmap before, but if you haven't, that's okay. To check if it's installed on your device, type nmap-h. If you get something like this, that means that you have it installed. If you don't, then go install it. The command to install it is sudo apt-get install nmap. Just type that in and hit enter on that, and you should get Nmap. Once you have it installed, let's take a quick look at some of the syntax. We can do a ping scan. We can scan for specific ports. We can scan fast mode. We can probe open ports and determine their service and version. Basically just get the version. We can do the default scripts, and we can do enable OS detection. And my favorite is -A. It's down here. -A enables OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and traceroute. 4 very good things in one little -A command. So that's what we're going to be using today. It might take a little longer, but it's definitely worth it. You get a ton of information out of this syntax, and it's just a great flag to use overall. Unless you're trying to be more like sneaky, I would recommend the -SS flag. It's a very good flag when you want to go undercover, but in this case, it doesn't matter. Now, let's talk about how to actually use Nmap. First, type nmap-a and then your server or your IP address of the victim. In this case, I'm not attacking anyone. I have my own lab set up, and you should too. If you don't know how to make a lab, in the next video, I will be teaching you how to make a lab, so stay tuned for that. It's going through all of the ports right now. If at any time you want to see how much time it needs to finish the port scanning, just hit enter one time and see what it says. So we're about halfway done right now. We got a ton of information here, and I'm going to go through the most important stuff. Well, we can see that they're running FTP port 21 normal ports, 22 SSH, OpenSSH, 4.7, they're using Telnet, SMTP, they have a web server running on right here, port MySQL 3306, Postgres, VNC, another web server running Apache Tomcat, the computer name Metasploitable. Since my prior knowledge of hacking, I know that port 21 FTP version VSFTPD 2.3.4 is highly vulnerable. It's basically just an instant backdoor. So how are we going to get that backdoor though? This is where Metasploit comes in. Metasploit is an open source software that's very handy. If you're wondering how to run it, just type sudo msfconsole. Hit enter on that. But once you're in, type search FTP 2.3.4. Basically, what this does, its search is for everything: exploits, auxiliaries, post payloads, encoders, nops, and invasion. It searches all of them for FTP 2.3.4, and if it finds one, it'll let us know. We have a module right here, and to use this, all we have to do is type use 0, because that's the number right here. Number is 0, so use 0. So what we're going to do now is we're going to say show options to see what we have to configure. Now right here, this is the key thing in Metasploit. You need to know what an R host is. An R host is the IP address that you want to attack. So in my case, the R host is 192.168.56.101. Just set the R host by typing set R host and then the IP address. Hit enter and check the R port, which is port 21. FTP is port 21, so we're good. And now all we have to do is type run. It will start giving us the backdoor, giving us the shell. We just found the shell. And we're getting in as a root user, root privileges. And it just says command shell open. We have access to a shell now. Let's try. Who am I? Root. ls c root ls. We have access to everything. You can see everything because we are root. And remember how we did this. First, we used Nmap to search for vulnerabilities in the ports. Looked for a port with a low version, very vulnerable, FTP version 2.3.4. Used Metasploit framework to search for that port. Found an exploit, used the exploit, and now we have a shell. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out to share my videos with everyone. And I'll see you guys next time.